Okay, first of all, we are going to learn how to use who in the sentence. So if we want to say who is at the school, first think about what is the subject of the sentence, which is who, right? And who in Korean is 누구. So 누구 is who. But when who is the subject of the sentence, we don't say 누구가, because 가 is a subject particle, right? It changes to 누가. So again, when you're going to use 누구, like pronouns like who, then you can say 누구. 누구? Who. But when we want to say a sentence such as who is at the school, then we know 누구 will be the subject. Instead of 누구가, we say 누가. Okay? So who is at the school? 누가 at the school. 학교. 학교 is the location, school. And we say at. So we need to add location particle. And then we have to use 있다, right? Remember, going back, exist, to be. So that would be 있어요. So 누가 학교에 있어요? Let's say Yumi is at the school. So we can answer Yumi가 subject particle, and then just the complete sentence. 학교에 있어요. And of course you can also say 유미가 있어요. You know, based on the context, because we already said 누가 학교에 있어요? 유미가 있어요. Or 유미가 학교에 있어요. Okay. We're gonna go over two conjunction today. First one, so or therefore. Second one, but, however. So first, let's do so, therefore, which is 그래서. So we're gonna say, as for today, 오늘은 Korean class, 한국어 class 수업, and then we're gonna say don't have, which is 없어요, right? And we learned from previous lesson that 있다, 없다 always marked with the subject particle. Therefore, we say 수업이 없어요. So today I don't have Korean 수업, lesson or class, right? And 오늘은 as for. You can use topic like an emphasize. So this is like as for today. Okay. So therefore, I'm meeting my friend. 그래서 you don't have to say 제 친구, right? My friend. You just say 친구. 그래서 친구를 만나요. Therefore, 친구, friend, 만나요, meet, polite form. And we learn 만나요, to meet. So that was the action verb. Therefore, we use the object particle, 을. use the 를 because 친구 ends in a vowel. Okay. So 그런데, but, however. 오늘은 한국어 수업이 없어요. Today I don't have Korean class. But I have a lot of class tomorrow. This is actually perfect example to use topic particle, by the way, right? So as for today, as for tomorrow. So I'm comparing today versus tomorrow. So perfect to use topic particle. 그런데 but 내일은 I have a lot of class. 수업이 많아요. And this 많다 will be the dictionary form. To be many or to be a lot. So 그런데, but or however, 내일은 as for tomorrow, 수업이 많아요. I have a lot of class. Okay. Next one. So we're gonna do the honorific ending today. 세요, remember those 세요 endings? That was the honorific, not honorific formal. So honorific ending, like 세요. And of course this can be statement or question. So that was the honorific ending. So when do we use honorific? We already talked about it, that when you're talking to someone older, at work, like a senior if you're junior, family, relative who's older, anyone you want to give respect, then you add 세요 ending. So first example, when a student is talking to a teacher. So student is 학생. So this student is saying, 선생님, do you have time? Maybe you have a question. 시간이, and then we learned have is going back to last week, to have 있다, right? And of course we use 이 or 가, right? So do you have a time? 시간, that's a time. 이, and then student is talking to a teacher. We want to use honorific ending. Not necessarily using honorific formal. That's way too formal, okay? So honorific is perfect ending. So 있어요 would be the polite form. 있어 would be casual form. So those two won't work here. Therefore, we use the ending 세요. And there is one thing that you need to remember. 있다, to have, use the stem it. When stem ends in a consonant like it, we have a 쌍시옷, then you add 으 in front of 세요. So therefore it becomes 있으 세요. 있으 세요, sound shift. That means when the verb, like 주다. Example. This means to give. 주다, the stem ends in a vowel. You just add 세요. Okay, so that is the conjugation of 세요. Okay. So again, when the stem ends in a consonant, 으세요 should be added to the stem. When the verb stem ends in a vowel, like 주다, 주, ends in a vowel, you add 세요 instead of a 으세요. Okay? So now going back. 학생 says, student says, 선생님, 시간이 있으세요? Teacher, do you have time? Time, subject particle, 있으세요, ends in a honorific ending. And then 선생님 is saying back, 네, 있어요. Notice I use 있어요 rather than 있으세요. So 선생님 said, 네. I mean, you want to be respectful to students, so you say 네. But you don't have to say 세요 ending. This one, you just use polite form. 네, 있어요. Polite. This you can apply to workplace also, right? Senior versus junior, right? Okay, so one more thing. We also use 세요 ending when you're requesting an action. For instance, if you want to say, please sit, or please read, please listen, or please write, or, please give me, all those things. So first one, 듣다. This is to listen. So if you want to say, please listen, you would say, 들으세요. Just like a 비읍 irregular, the conjugation was a little bit different, right? This one is a 디귿 irregular. So therefore, the conjugation is a bit different than how we did the previous one, because previous example were regular verbs, okay? So 디귿 irregular one, the conjugation changes to 들. But doesn't change anything because 들 still have a consonant, right? Therefore, you add 으세요. 들으세요. But the one after, I'll give you the regular verb. Okay, which is 읽다. 읽다. So 읽다, to read. This one is a regular verb. So if you want to say, please read, 읽, and then 으세요. This one does sound shift. 읽으세요. The 기억 sound shift. Next one, 쓰다. To write. And then please write. Let's say we have a quiz and I'll say 쓰세요, then you write, right? Please write. So this one, it's just a vowel, right? So you just add 세요. 쓰세요, please write. And then 주다, which I already talked about. To give. Please give. Please give it to me. Me implied. 주세요. Please give. So when you're asking for something with 주세요, like please give me coffee at the coffee shop, pretty much. I mean, of course, they'll ask you which coffee. Do you want tall size or ice? But just make it simple here. So please give me coffee by using 주세요. Now it's really easy. So going back to that, to give, it's action. Which particle to use? Always think that way, right? Oh, it's an action. Okay, so we use the object particle. So you say 커피를 주세요. Very useful because you go to any restaurant and if you want water, 물을 주세요. Only with 주세요 if you want to sound natural as Korean native, I permit you to drop the object particle. only 주세요 for the beginner level. And you can say 물 주세요, 커피 주세요, which you probably heard a lot in dramas and or even Korean people at the restaurant. Sentence like this, very short, object particle is often dropped. Okay? In order to be complete sentence, of course, yes, 커피를 주세요, 물을 주세요 for the test purpose. But for you to actually go out there and start using it with the Korean people, yes, you may just say 물 주세요, 커피 주세요, Okay. All right. So we have 5 different ways to say berry in Korean. It's like, oh, this is very spicy. Let's say ramen, okay? This ramen is very spicy. And we have 5 different berry, okay? All right, so let's look at it. So, 너무, 아주, 매우, 정말. This you probably heard a lot. 진짜. Okay. 너무, 아주, 매우, 정말, 진짜. One thing, this one, 매우, so mostly written form, not spoken, okay? And 정말 진짜, this also has a meaning of really. So it has 2 meanings, very and then really. So going back to the example I said, this ramen is very spicy. You can say this, 이 라면, 이 정말 or 진짜, 너무, 아주, 매우, written form, 매워요. And if you want to say really, really, very, very spicy, you may also heard people use it 2 of these. Or 이 라면이 정말 진짜 매워. Like that. Or 아주 정말 매워. Emphasis. Okay. Okay. So I think I covered everything. Alright, so I will see you in December. 안녕.